it's time to get the head pulled off the Hellride E46 so I can show you guys the damage. I have not seen the damage yet either, so I'll be witnessing it along with you guys. The only thing that makes this thing easy to work on is it's not covered in oil, 20 years of oil, so it's actually kind of clean to work on, which is motivating. So I'm going to go ahead and get this turbo pulled off and get the intake manifold pulled off. Also, I got some new head studs for it. Definitely an upgrade. It wasn't a cheap one, but I really don't want to have to do this again. And I got a cut ring head gasket. I'll show you guys that here soon, to those who don't know what a cut ring head gasket looks like, since I built this car before I was making YouTube videos. So here's the head gasket I got. Another Athena cut ring, but these cut rings are actually circles from CES. And then these are the ARPs I got. These are custom age 625s. These are like the best studs you can buy for the M50 iron block that fit the stock thread size. So you don't have to retap the block. People are running like 1,000 horsepower on these. So these should be plenty for my goals, and hopefully I don't stretch any of these or I'll be really upset. That didn't look good for a second. Oh boy. I guess that's just the milkiness. I just hope that's not like fine metal shavings or anything, because that doesn't look great. Yeah, that's gross. There's definitely milk. I got the intake manifold off, and for the people who don't know, go to Dollar General and buy you like a $5 kids pool, because you're not going to get a better pan for draining coolant, because no matter where you put your pan, usually the coolant is going to go on the other side of the car and drip right onto your ground. So I'm outside, but I still try to keep the concrete out here somewhat clean. It's pretty hard. So just a pro tip here, I guess. This is actually the first time I've tried using one of these, and it's pretty nice. I got the turbo off. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the valve cover off and start taking the head off the block. I'm actually going to pull it with the turbo manifold on it, so I don't have to remove it under the car because it's a pain. So I got this Arashi turbo off. I've had this for a long time now. I've had it on my old M54 before I went to M52, and it's awesome yet. So it was nice taking this off and checking it out a little bit more off the car. It's a billet wheel with stainless housing. It's a very nice turbo. If anyone's looking for a middle of the road turbo and they don't want to go super China or pay $3 grand for a turbo, these are definitely worth checking out. Valve cover's off. More milk. So it's basically just made a big old 7 or 8 quarts of milkshake. I got the Vanos and the cams off. I want to forget that. And I'm about to go ahead and take out the head studs and whatever else is connected to the head and pull it off. The reason I took the cams out mainly was because I'm trying to get rid of whatever weight I can, since I'm pulling it out with the turbo manifold on it, and it's probably going to have to be by hand. So it's going to be pretty heavy. Well, here it is. That was a pain in the butt to do alone. Look how bad this is. This is disgusting. And that little bit of rust here. Okay, it just wipes away, because I do not want to get this thing machined again. I don't want to have to pull the block. I hope to go only this far. A couple studs are still in there, couldn't get them out yet. Wow, that sucked. That sucked. I'm not the strongest guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the head gasket off and look at all these. Oh man, look at that. That's where it went. Look at that cut ring. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Hopefully the surface of the block's good. I got the coolant out, and the pistons could have cared less about all this. They're totally fine, which I figured they would be, or hope they would be. I got to get the rest of these studs out and Scotch-Brite this block real nice. And right here was where the surface rust was, but this isn't deep. This is actually like on the outside or whatever. I need to clean that up a little bit. hopefully that's not an issue. Luckily it's not very far down into the cylinder, so the oil rings aren't going to be there, but obviously the compression rings will be. So let's see how clean we can get this. You guys probably seen it in the last clip, I didn't catch it. These cylinder walls are trashed. This is probably from not having oil pressure. So I don't know if I can just repair this with a quick hone or a dingleberry hone, hopefully, because I don't want to pay for machine work, and I don't want to bore it out because then I can't use these pistons because they're for this bore, obviously. So the head over here at least looks all right. There's no cracks in it. And then as you guys seen, this thing is just shot. It blew out real bad. Cylinder 5's gone. Well, we'll see what happens. Well, this sucks. All the cylinder walls are all messed up. They're all scraped up. This is probably from when my oil pump failed for basically this whole engine's life. The car still had compression after all that. I checked it, but this is probably also why my car is pretty dang laggy, to be honest. It's not helping. So really, the engine just needs to come out of the car. Again, I don't even know how many times I've had the engine out of these cars. It's terrible. The engine needs to come out of this car again, and I guess I'll dingleberry hone it, because I have a dingleberry hone. I don't want to pay another, $800 or whatever in machine work. I don't have that money. I really don't. I really expected to be able to put a head gasket and studs on it, which I had already, like I just showed you guys. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want it to just sit, really, because I have too much into the car to like just shove it in the woods and forget about it. I can't really just do that. And I want to keep trying to reach that goal that I had of making 800 horsepower. I could probably still do it if I don't even mess with the cylinders and put it back together. But why would I torque down those studs that cost so much and potentially, can't reuse them again because sometimes they stretch or whatever when you torque them down. I think you can use them again, like one more time. But it's like, why would I do that on this engine that has crappy cylinder walls? And then I haven't removed a piston or anything yet because I need to move the engine out. So like if I remove a piston and the actual piston skirts are messed up, and these pistons were a fortune, I only got like 3,000 miles out of them. It's my fault, but then it's not, because this oil pump that I bought, if you guys have watched that video, was supposed to be awesome. And it was terrible, and that's what really got me to this point. Yes, I blew the head gasket, but that was going to be kind of an easy fix. That's why the parts that I had were to fix the head gasket. So yeah, I really don't know what to do, guys. I mean, I could just send it, but it's just going to mess up again, or just knowing that these cylinder walls are crap is always going to be there. So I don't really know what to do, guys. Thank you for watching this video. All the support's awesome. I'm going to keep making YouTube videos, even if the channel isn't growing that fast or whatever. I'm still going to make them, because I kind of like to have that history in cars to be able to go back and view and watch. So I really don't know where I'm going to go with this yet. And this was just one evening of work on the car. So like if I just work on it here and there and get the engine pulled and do the dingleberry, and maybe I just have to get new rings and re-gap them and just break it in again. I can definitely feel the marks on the cylinder walls, so I don't know if a dingleberry is going to do it. So I don't know what to do right now. I have two more M52 iron blocks that are like together and good. They're just stock. I have another set of ARP 2000s, brand new. I could put them in one of those and just run it just so the car runs, and slowly build this engine back up again and have it ready for when I toast one of these stock engines. Once again, these cylinders are like this because the stupid oil pump situation. It's all it took. Running Run an oil pressure gauge, guys. The dummy light's nice, but it ain't enough because it only comes on when there's like no oil pressure. So you'll never know how low you are. You could be super low and the light's not coming on, but it's low enough to be just destroying your engine like this situation. So like, comment, and subscribe. I've never said that before, but do it.